Phantom Liberty is here, adding a brand new region, weapons, vehicles, cyberware, and another voice in your head. Just what we needed. Today, we'll go through some amazing unlocks you need to get ASAP as soon as you reach Dogtown. Let's go! Let me know what build you're running in the comments down below. So we'll start with something that happens during the intro missions, and I'm going to avoid spoilers as much as I can. But in the intro missions, you fight a rather large robotic boss, and as soon as you defeat that boss, you can leave the area. But there's also an optional quest objective to take the Chimera core, which you absolutely should do. So what this core does is you can actually use it in your crafting menu to make an insanely powerful mod. You can choose from 4 different options depending on your build and playstyle. If you got the Firecracker for power weapon mods to shoot explosive weapons, you got Wall Puncher, which is a tech weapon mod that allows you to charge the weapon to 200% without increasing the charge time. Plus, it has 100% armor penetration and no penalty for penetrating cover. And there's Hakatomi, the smart weapon mod, so you get a 5% chance to apply a quick hack effect. And Severance, which is a melee weapon mod, so when enemies are below 50% HP, each hit to their head or limbs has a 20% chance to dismember and instantly kill them. The best thing about this mod is that it can be unequipped from weapons as well. So say if you go into Phantom Liberty and you haven't got the best weapons in the world yet, you'll still be able to take this mod off weapons and put it into different ones. Now, the mod you should pick here is really dependent on your playstyle, whether you're using power weapons or tech weapons or smart weapons or melee weapons. That's entirely up to you, but they are all extremely strong, so there's no real wrong answer here. It's just a little annoying that because they are weapon mods, you can't insert them in most of the iconic weapons in the game, as most of the iconic weapons don't have mod slots because they're already iconic. But I guess that would be a little OP, so you'll probably need to put it into some sort of a normal weapon and just add additional mods and, you know, silencers, scopes, that sort of thing onto them. But they're still incredibly powerful, and it essentially just turns any weapon you like into an iconic weapon, so you can get those benefits from it. Right near the casino at the entrance to Dogtown, there is a pool of water. If you swim all the way to the bottom, you'll find an iconic power assault rifle that you can take with you. This assault rifle is a Kyobi variant, and it's like nothing too special if you just sort of look at it, but when you think about it, it's actually great for a power weapon user. So it comes with improved handling, which is nothing to sneeze at. It also has a scope slot and a muzzle slot, which is great. Plus it has 2 mod slots, which is really rare for iconic weapons. So what this means is that you can take this bad boy, and remember the Chimera core we were talking about before, if you wanted to craft the power weapon mod, you can then slot that into this iconic weapon and get that explosive rounds plus this great rifle, and you're essentially good to go. The Relic skill tree is a massive buff in Phantom Liberty, and one of the first things you should be doing is going and hunting those Relic points. You'll initially get 3 Relic points just during the intro mission, and then you can spend that on one of the 3 core perks that you can pick from there. But you'll also be able to find the Relic points in Dogtown. These will appear on the map with like the little Relic symbol, or if you get close enough to one, they'll actually just appear as well with the icon. Now, there is 12 of these to collect, as you can get every single one of all of the Relic perks. So once you've collected all the points, you'll be able to get them all, but any of them are really good, and it's dependent on what your build is, right? Like if you're using a lot of cyberware, then picking up Jailbreak to give you those benefits to say the monowire or the projectile launch system to allow you to shoot multiple projectiles for each time, or if you're just using some sort of a range build, you can go into the vulnerability side of things. But everything here is valuable to pick up, but once you get all of them, you'll definitely be an OP powerhouse. You should be checking all the vendors in Dogtown as well. Now, something that I am a habit of doing is not really checking actual vendor stock. I would just go to them to dump and sell all the weapons that I have. But in Dogtown, firstly, you should check the junk vendor at the stadium, as you can buy a perk point from him, and he also sells skill shards as well. The Ripper Docks in Dogtown also have iconic cyberware that you can't get anywhere else. So be sure to check both of the Ripper Docks at either end of Dogtown and grab those iconic cyberwares. You'll also be able to buy the new weapons from the vendors, or you can buy their crafting specs as well, which is cheaper than just buying the weapon outright. If you do need eddies, because you will be spending a lot of them in Dogtown, selling weapons is now like super lucrative to actually gain eddies really quickly. So anytime you've defeated enemies, run around and pick up all their weapons and then go back to a vendor and sell them at a later time, because you don't really carry as much now because clothes you don't find as much. So mostly you'll have a massive carry capacity. you'll be able to just carry a heap of weapons that you find throughout the world, because that won't be cumbersome by the amount of clothes you're carrying, which typically used to happen. And these next two will absolutely help you gain eddies as well. And the first is the cargo drop. So occasionally in Dogtown, you will see a drone that will drop a cargo, or you'll actually just see like the red smoke from it already drop. There's also a little sound that like plays when you're near one as well. So just keep an eye out for that sound if you didn't see it drop or you can't see it. Sometimes they'll drop like on buildings or like up high, and you can't actually see the smoke if you're like on the ground level or something, so just pay attention to that sound. But essentially, as soon as you see these, you should book it to them. They don't last forever and will give you at least a really good weapon and some crafting components, among other benefits, as they often do have. There will typically be enemies nearby to kill, and that's just free loot as well as XP, so go and do that. I also got an iconic shotgun on one of my playthroughs from looting one of these cargo drops, but anytime you see them, highly recommend that you go over to them, fight anyone that's there and loot them. You will have to pass the breach protocol just to actually unlock the cargo, which can sometimes be annoying, especially if you're not actually like a quick hack build. But once you have unlocked the cargo, you'll essentially get like a really strong weapon. Like in my case, for my max level character, it's basically always a legendary. You'll get some clothing, potentially like a carry capacity shard or something similar, plus skill shards, plus weapon mods, ammo, and just like a bunch of other consumables as well. And you sort of get this in basically every single one. It's just randomized depending on what you get, but they all have really great rewards from them. Like you'll often get some of the best weapon mods from looting these cargo drops, and it's much better to do that than say try and buy them from vendors. These mods are actually really strong, and it just saves you that cost of having to buy them from vendors, and then you can sell those weapons and mods, etc., if you're not actually going to use them, right? So you can make that money back, and you've got the benefit of going to these locations, looting all the enemies, getting the XP from them, getting those items that you can go and sell for eddies or use yourself. So absolutely well worth doing anytime you see them pop up. The next one is vehicle contracts. Now in Dogtown, you'll notice another new icon on the map that's like a steering wheel. The first one seems to always be in the same spot, but I can't actually confirm that 100%. It has happened for me on 2 different playthroughs that it's in the same spot, so I'll show the map position here. But essentially you'll see like this like flashing icon with a steering wheel, and you go and jump in that car, and El Capitan will call you, and you'll start your first vehicle contract. Essentially what these contracts are is you'll need to hijack a car and bring that car to a designated location. When you do, you'll get a ton of eddies and skill shards and crafting components, and sometimes if you complete the optional objective, you'll also get a discount at the auto fixer terminals. The optional objective changes each mission. Like it could be just getting to the destination within a specific time limit, sometimes it's avoiding damage to the car itself, or it could just be defeating enemies trying to take you out along the way. Now, while the rewards that you get for completing one of these are great in their own right, like you'll often get skill shards as well as weapons and money shards and crafting components, which are all fantastic. Really, the standout is the auto fixers discount that you can get at the auto fixer terminal. So with update 2.0, you would have seen that they are the auto fixer terminals that you'll find throughout the world. Now, by doing these contracts and completing that optional objective and getting that discount, you can go to these terminals and buy certain cars for 25% off, which is just saving you a bunch of eddies. This is really valuable because there are those new cars that actually are weaponized. So you'll see in the top left icon indicating if it is actually a weaponized vehicle, meaning you won't actually have to use your own weapons when you're in the car. It has, say, rockets or machine guns already attached to it. And by doing these contracts, you'll also unlock new vehicles. So once you've done a certain amount of them, new vehicles will unlock at the auto fixer terminal as well. So there's plenty of reasons to go out and do these, and some of the best cars are now locked behind this, especially some of the new weaponized vehicles with machine guns and rockets and all that stuff. So by doing these, and anytime you see them pop up on the map, go and do these, because you get those rewards plus the discounts, and then also you can go and buy these vehicles that you will have unlocked. These contracts won't just appear in Dogtown. I've had them appear or just like out in Night City as well, so just keep an eye on your map for them when they pop up. But that is everything you need to know for the early stages of Phantom Liberty, guys. Let me know anything I've missed in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching this video till the end. Thank you to our members for supporting the channel. My name is NorZZa, and I hope you have a great day.